Hi, I'm Lisa Natali. My show is premiering at the Zephyr Theater December 15th, and I want to talk about how to give levity to your story and not come across as a victim. I've had a show in mind, the idea of doing a one-woman show for a couple decades now, and really what's put things on hold is that, well, one, timing is perfection, but shame is a big part of my story, and I didn't want to come across as a victim. So I've done pieces throughout the years of my show, but always trying to force some comedy into each story. So giving shame a character, making shame a character, then being able to give it, an actual character and movement and funny lines and give it inflection to the voice, and movement. And then the counterpart of that is that, of course, if there's shame, there's got to be that stronger part, which it's a warrior, it's my grit. So this repartee that has developed between the two characters, and they really do feel like two separate characters living inside of me that have this rapport, and going back and forth. And it's become comical in its own way, which I never imagined it could be. Another device that I knew would always be a part of my show were my diaries. So these are just like 3 of my diaries that I've had all of my life, well, since I was 10, and incorporating these diaries, reading them. I never really imagined that when I would read them in a show that I would be reflecting back to, 10-year-old Lisa, 14-year-old Lisa, 16, 17, 18, and going back to 10-year-old Lisa and those teenage years into that childhood, energy does also bring a levity to the story to lighten it up. I've seen tons of amazing, solo shows over the course of, my time in theater and thinking, I want to do that, but they're a comedian but I'm not a comedian. So let me write a joke, but then it's forceful. And the worst thing I wanted to do was to come on stage and be like, oh, I think that everybody should hear my story, but here's this bad thing that happened to me, and here's another bad thing that happened to me. But developing characters, which I never thought was going to be possible. I have to tell you, when Jessica suggested creating these as characters, the idea just sounded completely foreign to me. It didn't make any sense. How was I going to do that? How was it going to lighten it up? I expected that maybe I would, incorporate something funny here and there, but making them characters and really living in the characters. And now there's 20 characters in the show. So, yeah, characters can bring levity to your story. Who knew? Now I know. All right, December 15th at the Zephyr. Grit. Grit is the name of my show. One woman's evolution from chaos to courage.